Alex adjusted the straps of his backpack as the shuttle descended toward Lysera, a planet that glowed with soft teal and purple hues from the clouds above. He had traveled for months through space, leaving Earth behind, and now he was finally here. This mission was his first real assignment as an engineer for the United Earth Exploration Course. Humans had only recently begun interacting with the Lyserans, the alien species that ruled this distant world. Their culture was mysterious, their technology advanced, and their presence powerful. Alex felt both nervous and excited. The shuttle landed on a platform near a shimmering lake, reflecting the towering palace of Queen Zari in its waters. The palace was unlike anything Alex had seen on Earth. Its tall spires curved toward the sky, and its walls shimmered with a soft, living light. Organic shapes blended with metal and crystal, giving it an appearance that was both natural and artificial. Alex's mission was to inspect the atmosphere, ensure it was safe for human researchers, and gather data for future settlement. But he sensed that Lysera held secrets beyond his mission. As Alex stepped off the shuttle, a gentle wind brushed his face, carrying the faint scent of flowers he did not recognize. He marveled at the trees, their leaves glowing faintly under the soft sky. Everything seemed alive in a way he had never experienced. Yet, despite the beauty, he reminded himself to stay focused. First, the inspection. Then, the palace. His team was already setting up sensors near the edge of the lake. While they worked, Alex's eyes wandered toward the palace. A figure appeared on the balcony, tall, elegant, and commanding. It was Queen Zari herself. She wore flowing garments that shifted colors, reflecting her mood or perhaps the sunlight. Her eyes, bright and intelligent, watched the newcomers carefully. Alex felt a sudden wave of respect and fear. Alex called his colleague Mira, snapping him back to reality. We need to finish calibrating the sensors. The Queen might be watching. Alex nodded. Right, let's do this quickly. He joined Mira near the first sensor, checking readings and adjusting instruments. The air was breathable for humans, but Alex noticed subtle differences in oxygen levels and mineral content. He jotted notes, thinking about how this world could sustain human life. While working, he occasionally glanced at the palace. Queen Zari's attention seemed to linger on him, though he could not understand why. After a few hours, the inspection was complete. Alex's team packed up their equipment and prepared to return to the shuttle. But curiosity pulled him toward the palace. He knew he was not supposed to enter without permission. Yet a part of him wanted to see the heart of Lysera's power. He approached the grand entrance cautiously. The doors were massive, carved with intricate patterns that seemed to move subtly, like living art. As he stepped closer, the doors opened silently. Alex froze. No guard appeared, no warning sounded. The palace seemed to invite him inside. The air was warmer, carrying a faint hum that resonated in his chest. Alex walked carefully along the polished floor, trying to be as quiet as possible. The hallways twisted like vines, opening into chambers filled with unfamiliar furniture and decorations that shimmered faintly. He had never seen anything like it. Then, he heard a sound, a soft cry. Alex stopped in his tracks. It was faint, almost lost among the palace echoes, yet distinct. His heart beat faster. Following the sound, he found himself in a smaller chamber, decorated in warm colors, and there, on a floating platform that glimmered like crystal, was the baby. The infant was unlike anything Alex had imagined. Its skin had a pearlescent sheen, and its eyes reflected the colors of Lysera itself. The baby's limbs moved gracefully, almost as if it was aware of Alex before he even approached. And it cried again, a sound that was strangely musical yet urgent. Before Alex could react, a figure stepped into the room. Queen Zari. She moved with a fluid grace, her eyes fixed on him. You are brave to enter my palace without permission, she said, her voice calm but carrying authority. Yet, you have discovered my child. Alex bowed quickly. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I didn't mean to intrude. I only heard the baby crying, and he paused, searching for words. I wanted to help. Zari's expression softened slightly as she looked at her infant. Many come here thinking they can help. Few understand. what it means to care for a Lycaran child. Humans, you are different. Alex felt a mixture of fear and awe. He had heard stories of alien children being difficult to calm, but seeing this infant in person was overwhelming. Its cries seemed to echo through the room, yet there was intelligence in its gaze, as if it understood his presence and his intentions. I can try, Alex said cautiously. He stepped forward, raising his hand slowly. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. The baby's eyes widened, focusing on him for a moment. Time seemed to pause. Zari watched silently, her posture regal but tense. Alex knelt slightly, lowering his voice to a soft tone. He hummed a tune he remembered from Earth, a lullaby his sister used to sing. The baby tilted its head, listening. A small movement then. A coo. Alex smiled, encouraged. He continued humming, moving his hands gently, trying to mimic the motions of comfort. The infant's cries softened, but it still seemed unsettled. Alex realized that calming this baby would require patience, attention, and perhaps understanding beyond anything he had learned on Earth. Zari spoke after a pause. You are not required to succeed. Many fail. But your willingness, that is rare. Alex looked up at her, heart pounding. I want to try. Please, teach me what I should do. The Queen studied him for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then, she nodded slightly. Very well. Learn, observe, understand, and perhaps you may earn something few humans ever have. Alex's curiosity surged. What did she mean? What could a human possibly earn from a Lycaran queen? He did not have time to ask. Because the baby's cries grew louder again, Alex took a deep breath and focused entirely on the infant, determined to rise to the challenge before him. Outside the palace, the sun began to set over the teal horizon. Alex knew that this first encounter was only the beginning, and whatever awaited him inside would test not only his skill but his courage, patience, and heart. For the first time in his life, he realized that this mission was more than science. It was about connection, and the smallest, most fragile being in the universe might be the key to everything. The next morning, the palace of Lycara was bathed in a soft, golden light. Alex awoke in a guest chamber that shimmered like the walls of the main hall. His sleep had been restless. The image of the baby, with its large, curious eyes and delicate features, kept appearing in his thoughts. He remembered Queen Zari's words, learn, observe, understand, and perhaps you may earn something few humans ever have. When he arrived in the main hall, he found Zari waiting. Her presence was commanding, yet there was a hint of amusement in her eyes. The baby sat nearby on its floating platform, observing Alex with interest. Its cries from the previous night were faint but persistent, almost like a soft musical note that pulled at Alex's attention. Alex, Zari said, her voice calm but firm. Yesterday you entered my palace without permission. Today, you will face a formal challenge. If you can soothe my child, I will reward you. Alex blinked, unsure what she meant. Reward? What kind of reward? The Queen smiled faintly. Patience, courage, understanding. If you succeed, you may find a place among us, perhaps more. But you must first prove yourself. Alex's heart raced. The challenge seemed simple in words, yet he knew it would test every skill he possessed. The baby was intelligent, alert, and unpredictable. Many humans had tried to interact with Lycaran children and had failed, yet he felt a strange determination welling up inside him. Zari gestured toward the baby. Observe, learn, only then act. Do not rush, do not force. The child will respond to sincerity. Alex knelt carefully before the baby, lowering himself to its level. He noticed small details, the way its ears twitched, the rhythm of its breathing, the subtle changes in color across its skin when it became excited or upset. Every gesture seemed meaningful. He remembered his training in human child development, though he knew this was far more complex. He tried soft hums, gentle hand movements, and slow rocking motions. The baby watched him intently, sometimes cooing, sometimes turning away. Alex realized that forcing comfort did not work. He needed to understand the baby's feelings, ours. Past as Alex experimented with different approaches, he sang softly, told simple stories of Earth, and even drew small symbols in the air, hoping to capture the baby's attention. The child's eyes followed him, occasionally lighting up with curiosity, but it remained unsettled. Zari observed silently, her expression unreadable. Most fail because they rush, she said at last. They expect obedience, not understanding. You are learning. Alex nodded, though he felt frustrated. I want to do more, he admitted. I want to help it feel safe. The Queen's gaze softened, then looked deeper. Observe what brings comfort, and notice what causes distress. Lyceran infants are sensitive to emotion, not just actions. You must connect, not control. Alex took a deep breath and slowed his movements. Instead of reaching toward the baby, he simply sat and mirrored its breathing, letting his calmness spread. He hummed a soft, steady tune and spoke gently, telling stories of his home mountains, rivers, and skies filled with stars. He watched for even the smallest reaction. Slowly, the baby's cries became softer. It reached out a tiny hand toward Alex. His heart leapt, encouraged. He continued, keeping his tone warm and consistent. The baby's skin shimmered faintly, changing colors as it relaxed. Alex realized that the child responded not to tricks or gestures, but to genuine care and presence. Hours turned into the afternoon, and finally, the baby leaned against Alex's shoulder, resting its head. For a moment, the world seemed to pause. Zari stepped closer, a small smile on her face. You are succeeding, she said softly. Few humans can calm a Lyceran infant. Your patience and empathy are remarkable. Alex felt a mixture of relief and pride, but he knew the challenge was not over. The baby could still change its mind at any moment. He continued humming, rocking gently, and maintaining steady eye contact. The bond was fragile, yet growing. Observe how it communicates. Zari advised, every gesture, every sound, carries meaning. Respond thoughtfully. This is not a test of strength, but of understanding. Alex nodded. He noticed that the baby responded positively when he mirrored its small movements, and when he allowed it to explore his hands freely. He realized that connection came through respect, not control. Every smile, every coo was a sign of trust forming. Suddenly, a sharp cry broke the calm. The baby had spotted a movement outside the window, perhaps a bird or a floating creature. Alex quickly but gently held the infant, speaking softly and slowly shifting its attention back to him. After a few tense moments, the baby relaxed again, leaning into his shoulder. Zari's eyes glimmered with admiration. You are learning faster than I expected. Your connection grows because you are sincere, and you respect its intelligence. That is rare among humans. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth he had never experienced before. The challenge was difficult, but the reward was not gold or power. It was the trust of a living being from another world. The baby's small hand gripped his finger briefly, a silent acknowledgement that he was safe, and that trust was forming. By evening, Alex had managed to soothe the baby completely. It fell asleep in his arms, peaceful and calm, its breathing steady. He felt a surge of pride, realizing that he had succeeded where many humans had failed. Queen Zari approached him, her presence serene and powerful. Alex, she said softly, you have proven yourself, not only in skill but in heart. You understand the essence of care and patience. This is a rare gift. Alex bowed his head. Thank you, Your Majesty. I just wanted to help. Zari's eyes softened. And that is exactly why you succeeded. Your actions were not motivated by reward or recognition, but by genuine concern. This quality is what Lycera values above all. Alex felt a mixture of awe and relief. He had faced a challenge unlike any he had imagined, yet he had emerged victorious not through cleverness or strength, but through understanding and empathy. As he carefully carried the sleeping infant back to its floating platform, Alex realized that this was only the beginning. Lycera was a world full of mysteries, and the bond he had begun to form with the Queen's child could change not only his life, but the relationship between humans and Lycerans forever. Outside, the sky shifted from gold to deep teal, stars beginning To appear, Alex looked toward the horizon, feeling both humbled and inspired. He had survived the first test, but he knew many more challenges awaited. For now, he allowed himself a quiet moment of satisfaction. He had earned the first trust of a being from another world and perhaps a chance at something extraordinary. The next morning, the palace of Lysera was bathed in a soft, golden light. Alex awoke in a guest chamber that shimmered like the walls of the main hall. His sleep had been restless. The image of the baby, with its large, curious eyes and delicate features, kept appearing in his thoughts. He remembered Queen Zari's words: learn, observe, understand, and perhaps you may earn something few humans ever have. When he arrived in the main hall, he found Zari waiting. Her presence was commanding, yet there was a hint of amusement in her eyes. The baby sat nearby on its floating platform, observing Alex with interest. Its cries from the previous night were faint but persistent, almost like a soft musical note that pulled at Alex's attention. "Alex," Zari said, her voice calm but firm, "yesterday you entered my palace without permission. Today, you will face a formal challenge. If you can soothe my child, I will reward you." Alex blinked, unsure what she meant. Reward? What kind of reward? The queen smiled faintly. Patience, courage, understanding. If you succeed, you may find a place among us, perhaps more. But you must first prove yourself. Alex's heart raced. The challenge seemed simple in words, yet he knew it would test every skill he possessed. The baby was intelligent, alert, and unpredictable. Many humans had tried to interact with Lyceran children and had failed, yet he felt a strange determination welling up inside him. Zari gestured toward the baby. "Observe, learn, only then act. Do not rush, do not force. The child will respond to sincerity." Alex knelt carefully before the baby, lowering himself to its level. He noticed small details, the way its ears twitched, the rhythm of its breathing, the subtle changes in color across its skin when it became excited or upset. Every gesture seemed meaningful. He remembered his training in human child development, though he knew this was far more complex. He tried soft hums, gentle hand movements, and slow rocking motions. The baby watched him intently, sometimes cooing, sometimes turning away. Alex realized that forcing comfort did not work. He needed to understand the baby's feelings, ours. Passed as Alex experimented with different approaches. He sang softly, told simple stories of Earth, and even drew small symbols in the air, hoping to capture the baby's attention. The child's eyes followed him, occasionally lighting up with curiosity, but it remained unsettled. Zari observed silently, her expression unreadable. "Most fail because they rush," she said at last. "They expect obedience, not understanding." "You are learning." Alex nodded, though he felt frustrated. "I want to do more," he admitted. "I want to help it feel safe." The queen's gaze softened, then looked deeper. "Observe what brings comfort, and notice what causes distress." Lyceran infants are sensitive to emotion, not just actions. You must connect, not control. Alex took a deep breath and slowed his movements. Instead of reaching toward the baby, he simply sat and mirrored its breathing, letting his calmness spread. He hummed a soft, steady tune and spoke gently, telling stories of his home mountains, rivers, and skies filled with stars. He watched for even the smallest reaction. Slowly, the baby's cries became softer. It reached out a tiny hand toward Alex. His heart leapt, encouraged. He continued, keeping his tone warm and consistent. The baby's skin shimmered faintly, changing colors as it relaxed. Alex realized that the child responded not to tricks or gestures, but to genuine care and presence. Hours turned into the afternoon, and finally, the baby leaned against Alex's shoulder, resting its head. For a moment, the world seemed to pause. Zari stepped closer, a small smile on her face. "You are succeeding," she said softly. "Few humans can calm a Lyceran infant. Your patience and empathy are remarkable." Alex felt a mixture of relief and pride, but he knew the challenge was not over. The baby could still change its mind at any moment. He continued humming, rocking gently, and maintaining steady eye contact. The bond was fragile, yet growing. Observe how it communicates. Zari advised, every gesture, every sound, carries meaning. Respond thoughtfully. This is not a test of strength, but of understanding. Alex nodded. He noticed that the baby responded positively when he mirrored its small movements, and when he allowed it to explore his hands freely. He realized that connection came through respect, not control. Every smile, every coo was a sign of trust forming. Suddenly, a sharp cry broke the calm. The baby had spotted a movement outside the window, perhaps a bird or a floating creature. Alex quickly but gently held the infant, speaking softly and slowly shifting its attention back to him. After a few tense moments, the baby relaxed again, leaning into his shoulder. Zari's eyes glimmered with admiration. You are learning faster than I expected. Your connection grows because you are sincere, and you respect its intelligence. That is rare among humans. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth he had never experienced before. The challenge was difficult, but the reward was not gold or power, it was the trust of a living being. From another world, the baby's small hand gripped his finger briefly, a silent acknowledgement that he was safe, and that trust was forming. By evening, Alex had managed to soothe the baby completely. It fell asleep in his arms, peaceful and calm, its breathing steady. He felt a surge of pride. Realizing that he had succeeded where many humans had failed, Queen Zari approached him, her presence serene and powerful. Alex, she said softly, you have proven yourself, not only in skill but in heart. You understand the essence of care and patience. This is a rare gift. Alex bowed his head. Thank you, Your Majesty. I just wanted to help. Zari's eyes softened, and that is exactly why you succeeded. Your actions were not motivated by reward or recognition, but by genuine concern. This quality is what Lysera values above all. Alex felt a mixture of awe and relief. He had faced a challenge unlike any he had imagined, yet he had emerged victorious not through cleverness or strength, but through understanding and empathy. As he carefully carried the sleeping infant back to its floating platform, Alex realized that this was only the beginning. Lysera was a world full of mysteries, and the bond he had begun to form with the Queen's child could change not only his life, but the relationship between humans and Lyserans forever. Outside, the sky shifted from gold to deep teal, stars beginning to appear. Alex looked toward the horizon, feeling both humbled and inspired. He had survived the first test, but he knew many more challenges awaited. For now, he allowed himself a quiet moment of satisfaction. He had earned the first trust of a being from another world, and perhaps a chance at something extraordinary. The morning light spilled through the palace windows, casting soft patterns across the floor. Alex woke early, careful not to disturb the sleeping infant in its floating cradle. Yesterday had been a success, but today felt different. He sensed that the bond he had begun forming with the baby was fragile, and he wanted to strengthen it. After a light breakfast in the palace's dining hall, Zari appeared. Her presence filled the room, calm yet commanding. Alex, she said, her voice measured, today you will continue your work, observe, understand, and connect. The child's trust is growing, but patience will deepen it. Alex nodded. I understand, Your Majesty. I'll do my best. He approached the chamber where the infant rested. The baby's eyes fluttered open, reflecting curiosity and recognition. As Alex knelt down, the child reached out with a tiny hand. Alex gently held it, careful not to startle the infant. The Queen watched silently from a distance, studying his interactions. Alex began softly humming a tune he had used the day before. The baby tilted its head, listening intently. He spoke in gentle tones, telling simple stories of earth rivers winding through forests, mountains touching clouds, and animals of every shape and size. The baby cooed softly, responding to the rhythm and warmth in Alex's voice. Over the morning, Alex noticed subtle signs of the baby's personality. It preferred gentle movements, responded to smiles, and reacted positively to bright, soft colors. Every gesture mattered. When he moved too quickly or raised his voice even slightly, the infant would frown or pull back. Alex realized that soothing This child was less about tricks and more about attention and care. Zari finally stepped forward. "You are learning quickly," she said. "Most humans are impatient. They do not notice the small signals, the subtleties of Lycaran emotion. You are different." Alex smiled, feeling encouraged. "I want to understand. I want to make sure. It feels safe." The Queen's gaze softened. Safety comes not only from protection, but from trust. That trust is earned through presence, sincerity, and empathy. You have begun to earn it. Continue. As the day passed, Alex experimented with new ways to engage the baby. He used soft hand gestures, mimicking the child's movements. He hummed new melodies and let the infant touch objects around the chamber. The baby responded, with joy, occasionally, giggling at a sound that was both musical and warm. Alex found himself laughing softly, feeling a connection unlike anything he had experienced. During a quiet moment, Alex asked, "Do you like stories about the stars?" The baby's eyes widened, and it reached toward him. Alex began describing constellations, planets, and galaxies, imagining the colors and lights of the universe. The infant cooed and waved its hands as if it could see the stars Alex described. Zari observed silently, impressed. "You speak of your world, yet you connect to ours. That is rare. You do not impose yourself, yet you share. That is why the child responds to you." By afternoon, the palace chambers felt alive with a quiet warmth. Alex had grown more confident in his ability to soothe the baby, and the child seemed to anticipate his movements, relaxing in his presence. For the first time, Alex realized that this was not just about completing a challenge, it was about forming a genuine bond across worlds. The Queen approached again. "You are doing more than soothe the child," she said softly. "You are learning our ways, our emotions, our understanding. That is what humans often struggle with. You are proving that you can bridge the gap between our species." Alex felt a mixture of pride and humility. He looked at the baby, who now rested its head against his shoulder, breathing calmly. "I didn't expect to feel this connection," he admitted quietly. "It's more than I imagined." Zari's expression softened. "Connection is the heart of understanding, Alex. Strength alone does not earn respect. Courage alone does not build trust. Only empathy, patience, and care can create bonds that last. Remember this." As the sun dipped lower in the sky, a messenger arrived from the palace gates. A small device projected a holographic map showing unusual movement in the outer gardens. Alex realized that, despite the peace inside the palace, Lycara was not without danger. The baby stirred slightly at the sound, sensing tension in the air. Alex gently calmed it. Speaking softly and rocking the child in his arms, Zari observed the scene, noting Alex's instinctive care. "You protect not only with skill but with attention," she said. "That is rare among humans. You are beginning to understand the balance of strength and empathy that our people value." As evening fell, Alex continued his work with the baby, now learning subtle communication cues. When the infant was curious, it pointed, cooed, or reached. When it was upset, it pulled back or changed color slightly. Alex learned to read these signs, adjusting his tone, gestures, and movements accordingly. With every interaction, the bond grew stronger. By the end of the day, the Queen called Alex to her side. "You have done well," she said. "The child responds to you as it does to no other human. That is a sign not only of skill but of heart. Tomorrow, you will face new challenges, but today, you have earned trust. Trust is more valuable than victory." Alex bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I feel honored, and I feel happy. This is unlike anything I expected." Zari nodded. "Lycara values what you are learning: patience, observation, empathy. These qualities can unite worlds if nurtured. Remember this bond you have formed. It may guide the future of our peoples." As Alex returned to his quarters, the baby slept peacefully in its chamber, its tiny form radiating calm and trust. Alex sat by the window, looking out at the teal sky. The vast world of Lycara seemed less mysterious now, yet still full of challenges. He realized that understanding the baby was just the first step. There were lessons to learn, dangers to face, and connections to build. For the first time, Alex felt that his mission was more than exploration, it was about bridging worlds. He had discovered that courage alone was not enough. Understanding, patience, and care could achieve what strength never could. And with the trust of the Queen's child, he held the beginning of something extraordinary, a bond that could change the future of humans and Lycerans alike. As the stars began to twinkle above the palace, Alex made a silent promise. He would not fail the child, the Queen, or himself. Whatever challenges lay ahead, he would face them with patience, courage, and heart. The morning on Lycera was quiet, almost eerily so. Alex walked through the palace gardens, carrying a small notebook in which he recorded the baby's behavior. Each observation helped him understand the child better, but today, something felt different. The wind carried a tension he couldn't explain, and even the birds strange. Floating creatures with shimmering wings seemed unusually restless. He reached the chamber where the baby slept and noticed Queen Zari standing nearby, her gaze distant. "Alex," she said, her tone calm but serious, "I have received news. A neighboring clan has shown hostility toward our people. They may attempt to disrupt the palace, or even target the child." Alex felt a jolt of alarm. "Target the baby?" Zari nodded. "Their goal is to weaken our rule by threatening the next generation. You have formed a bond with this child, and I trust your judgment. You must help ensure its safety." Alex's mind raced. He had faced challenges in calming the infant, but protecting it from a hostile force was entirely different. He swallowed hard and nodded. "I'll do whatever I can, Your Majesty." Zari gestured to the baby, who now watched Alex with wide, curious eyes. "Calm the child," she said. "Its safety depends on your attention and patience, even as danger approaches." Alex knelt beside the infant, speaking softly and moving slowly. He hummed a gentle melody, letting his presence provide comfort. The baby's tiny hand reached for him, and Alex felt a surge of determination. He would protect this child, no matter the risk. Outside the palace, Alex coordinated with the guards, using his human knowledge of strategy and security systems. He helped reinforce entrances, set up observation points, and design simple but effective traps to slow intruders. Lyceran technology was advanced, but Alex's understanding of human engineering added new layers of protection. By midday, the palace was quiet again, but Alex could feel the tension in the air. He returned to the baby's chamber, speaking softly as he adjusted the floating platform to a safer, more enclosed position. The child responded with soft coos and a gentle smile. Sensing the calm Alex projected, Zari watched silently from the doorway. "You act with both caution and care," she said. "That balance is rare. Many humans would focus on defense alone, neglecting the emotional well-being of the child. You do both. That is why the infant trusts you." Alex nodded, feeling a mix of pride and anxiety. The threat outside reminded him that even the strongest bond could be tested by forces beyond their control. He remained vigilant, yet continued to engage the baby with stories, songs, and gentle movements. As the afternoon wore on, the first sign of intrusion appeared. A faint shimmer on the outer wall indicated an unauthorized presence, a scout from the rival clan. Alex alerted the guards and prepared a plan to intercept the intruders without alarming the baby. He returned to the chamber to reassure the child, speaking in a calm tone. "Everything is okay," he said softly. "I'm here. You're safe." The baby leaned against him, cooing softly, its tiny hand clutching his finger. The trust they had built seemed stronger than ever. The scouts approached the palace gates, unaware that Alex and the guards had anticipated their arrival. Using simple but effective barriers and traps, the intruders were delayed. Alex coordinated the defense, issuing instructions quickly yet calmly, ensuring the palace remained secure. Inside, the baby remained calm, a testament to Alex's careful attention. Zari observed, her eyes reflecting both relief and admiration. "You are proving yourself not only as a caretaker, but as a protector," she said softly. Few humans could balance both in such a situation. Hours passed with tense anticipation. The intruders tested the palace defenses repeatedly, but Alex's preparations held. He remained near the baby, using soft melodies, gentle rocking, and quiet storytelling to maintain a sense of calm. Each time the infant stirred, Alex responded with patience and care, ensuring that trust was never broken. Finally, as dusk approached, the intruders retreated. The palace stood unharmed, and the baby was safe. Alex exhaled deeply, feeling both exhaustion and relief. He looked at the child, now resting peacefully, and realized the depth of the bond they had formed. The baby's trust had not only helped him soothe it, but had guided his decisions during the threat, reminding him of what truly mattered. Zari approached, her presence commanding yet warm. "You have done more than protect the child," she said. "You have shown courage, intelligence, and empathy. You have proven that humans can be more than visitors, they can be allies, capable of understanding and defending what we hold dear." Alex bowed. "I only did what I could. The baby, it taught me what matters. I had to keep it calm, safe, and happy. That guided everything I did." The queen smiled faintly. "And that is why you have succeeded where many would fail. Trust, courage, and understanding are the pillars of our society. You have shown all three. Remember this lesson well, Alex, for challenges will continue. The safety of those we care for often requires both heart and mind." As night fell, Alex remained in the chamber, sitting quietly near the sleeping baby. The palace was calm. The threat temporarily passed, but he knew this was only one of many challenges ahead. He had learned that Lysera was a world full of wonder, but also full of danger. And yet, he felt stronger, more capable, and more connected than ever before. The baby stirred slightly in its sleep, sensing his presence even in rest. Alex gently adjusted the floating platform to ensure comfort, whispering softly, "You're safe now," he said. "I won't let anything hurt you." Zari watched silently from the doorway, her expression unreadable, but in her eyes, Alex could sense a growing respect. He was no longer just a human visitor, he was someone capable of understanding Lysera, of protecting its most precious life, and perhaps, one day, bridging the gap between their worlds. Outside, the stars shimmered in the teal sky. Alex gazed at them, thinking about Earth, about the journey that had brought him here, and about the bond he had formed with a tiny being from another world. He understood now that courage alone was not enough. Empathy, patience, and presence were just as vital. As he watched over the baby, Alex made a silent promise. He would continue to protect, to learn, and to care. Whatever challenges came next, he would face them with heart, courage, and understanding. The infant's trust had changed him, and he knew that together they could overcome whatever Lysera and the universe might throw at them. And for the first time, Alex felt that he truly belonged not only on Lysera, but in a role that bridged worlds, hearts, and the future. The night on Lysera was darker than usual. Shadows moved across the palace walls as the wind whispered through the gardens. Alex was awake, seated near the baby's floating platform, watching over the child. Despite the palace's defenses, the earlier alert had left him alert and uneasy. He knew the rival clan might attempt another attack suddenly. A faint vibration in the floor alerted Alex. His instincts sharpened. The intruders had returned. Without wasting a second, he activated a simple alarm system he had helped design, sending a silent signal to the palace guards. At the same time, he leaned closer to the baby. "It's okay," Alex whispered, keeping his voice calm and steady. "I'm here. Nothing will hurt you." The infant's eyes widened slightly, sensing the tension, but Alex continued to hum a soft tune, gently rocking the platform. The child cooed quietly, finding comfort in his presence. Alex's heart pounded as he realized the attack would test both his courage and his ability to maintain the baby's trust. Outside the palace, the rival clan moved swiftly, their advanced technology cutting through defenses with surprising speed. Alex knew he had little time. He calculated his options, remembering the structural layout of the palace. He could use corridors, hidden passages, and energy barriers to create safe zones for the baby. Carefully, Alex lifted the infant into his arms, ensuring it was secure yet comfortable. The baby clutched his finger with a tiny hand, its soft trust fueling his determination. "We're going to be safe," he said quietly, speaking more to reassure himself than the child did as he moved through the palace. Alex coordinated with the guards using hand signals and subtle gestures. The intruders were skilled, but Alex's knowledge of human tactics, combined with Lysaran technology, gave them an advantage. They set up energy barriers, blocking key entrances and delaying the attackers' advance. The baby stirred slightly. Sensing the movement, Alex spoke softly, narrating his actions in a calm, soothing tone. "We're moving to a safe place," he said. "We'll stay out of danger until this passes." The child relaxed, allowing Alex to focus on the defense. The first wave of intruders reached the main hall. A brief skirmish erupted, but Alex stayed back, guiding the guards and ensuring the baby remained undisturbed. He realized that protecting the infant required more than strength. It required strategy, patience, and careful timing. Every move mattered. Alex led the baby through a series of secret passages he had discovered during his explorations. The hallways were narrow and winding, but they offered a safe route to a secure chamber deep within the palace. The baby's trust remained strong, and Alex's careful movements ensured it remained calm despite the chaos outside. Once they reached the secure chamber, Alex activated protective energy shields, creating a safe zone. The baby's eyes followed him, then slowly closed in a moment of trust and comfort. Alex smiled quietly, feeling a surge of pride and relief. He had succeeded in keeping the child safe. Under extreme pressure through the walls, Alex could hear the sounds of battle guards and intruders clashing, the hum of energy weapons, and the occasional shout. He remained focused, knowing that the baby's safety was his responsibility. He adjusted the shields and checked the surroundings, ensuring there were no vulnerabilities. Zari appeared suddenly at the entrance of the chamber, her expression a mix of concern and admiration. "You have done well, Alex," she said. "You kept the child safe while others fought. That is no small feat. You have shown courage, intelligence, and care all at the same time." Alex bowed slightly. "Thank you, Your Majesty. The baby, it guided me. Its trust gave me the strength to think clearly and act quickly. I couldn't let it down." Zari's eyes softened. "That is why you succeeded. Many humans act with courage, but few understand the weight of trust and responsibility. You have proven that. You can protect not only life, but also hope." Hours passed as the battle raged outside. Alex remained vigilant, alternating between monitoring the baby and assisting the guards. His strategy slowed the intruders' progress, giving the palace forces the upper hand. He noticed the baby's small reactions, subtle movements, cues, and gestures, and adjusted his tone and posture to maintain calm. Every detail mattered. Finally, the intruders began to retreat, realizing that their plan had failed. The palace remained intact, and the baby was safe. Alex exhaled deeply, feeling exhaustion, but also triumph. He looked at the child, now resting peacefully in his arms, and realized the depth of their bond. Trust had guided his actions, and it had kept them both safe. Zari approached once more, her regal presence calming yet powerful. "Alex," she said, "you have faced danger and responsibility beyond what most humans could endure. You have shown that courage is not enough. Understanding, patience, and care are equally important. You have earned my respect and the respect of Lysera." Alex bowed again, feeling a mixture of pride and humility. "I only did what I had to. The baby, its trust guided me. Without it, I might have faltered." The queen smiled faintly. "And that is why you succeeded. You have proven that humans can not only survive, but also thrive in our world, guided by empathy and heart. Remember this, Alex. The lessons you learned tonight are more valuable than any skill or weapon." As night settled over Lysera, Alex remained in the secure chamber, watching the baby sleep. The palace was calm once more. The intruders gone, but he knew this was only the beginning. Lysera was a world of beauty and danger, and he had learned that courage alone could not face every challenge. Empathy, strategy, and patience were equally vital. The baby stirred slightly, sensing Alex's presence even in sleep. He gently adjusted, The child's physician, speaking softly, "You're safe now," he whispered. "I won't let anything hurt you," Zari observed from the doorway, her expression reflecting both pride and relief. "You are no longer just a visitor," she said quietly. "You are a protector, a bridge between our worlds, and a keeper of trust. That is a rare gift." Outside, the stars shone in the teal sky, calm and steady. Alex gazed at them, thinking of Earth, of the journey that had brought him here, and of the bond he had formed with a being from another world. He realized that the connection he shared with the infant was more than responsibility, it was trust, empathy, and hope for the future. As he sat quietly, Alex made a silent promise. Whatever dangers came next, he would protect the baby, learn from each challenge, and face every trial with heart, courage, and understanding. Lysera had tested him, but he had risen to the challenge, and for the first time, he felt that he truly belonged not only on this alien world, but in a role that could change the future for humans and Lyserans alike. The night was long, but for Alex, the most important battle had already been won. The baby's trust had survived, and with it, a bond that could shape the destiny of two worlds. The palace of Lysera was calm in the morning light, the chaos of the previous night now a distant memory. Alex sat quietly near the floating platform where the baby rested, watching its small form breathe peacefully. The trust he had earned felt stronger than ever, a connection that gave him both comfort and purpose. Queen Zari entered the chamber, her presence commanding yet gentle. Alex stood immediately, bowing out of respect. The queen's eyes, deep and intelligent, met his with an intensity that made his heart race. "Alex," she said, her voice calm but firm, "you have faced danger. You have protected what is most precious to Lysera, and you have shown patience and understanding beyond what most humans possess. Today, I wish to acknowledge your efforts formally." Alex felt a mixture of pride and nervousness. "Your Majesty, I was only doing what I had to do. The child, it guided me." Zari stepped closer to the infant's platform and gently touched its glowing skin. The baby cooed softly, turning its tiny head toward Alex. "That guidance," Zari said, "is the result of your presence, your patience, and your care. The bond you have formed is rare. It is not easily earned, nor easily broken." Alex nodded, understanding the weight of her words. The baby reached for him again, clutching his finger with a tiny hand. He smiled softly, feeling the warmth of trust in that small gesture. The queen moved closer, her tone serious. "Alex, humans often underestimate what it means to connect with another being, especially one from a different world. You have shown that understanding and empathy can bridge any distance, even across species. For that, you have my respect." Alex's heart pounded. He had earned her respect, yes, but the weight of her words suggested something more. He took a deep breath. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I feel honored." Zari's eyes softened. "Honored? Yes, but there is more." In Lysera, trust and courage are the foundations of not only friendship, but also bonds that guide the future. You have proven yourself capable of understanding and protecting what we hold dear. That is why I make this promise." Alex blinked, unsure of what she meant. The queen's tone was both serious and gentle, a combination that demanded attention. "If you continue to nurture this bond, if you continue to show patience, understanding, and courage," Zari said, "then one day I will offer you something rare among our people, a position of honor, yes, but more than that, a connection that unites human and Lyseran in ways few have ever experienced." Alex's mind raced. He wanted to speak, to ask what she meant, but the weight of the moment silenced him. The baby's soft gaze met his, and he felt a strange mixture of humility and wonder. Zari continued, her voice steady and calm. "Many would fail this test. Many would seek reward without understanding. But you have learned that caring, patience, and trust are the true measures of worth. That is why I make this promise. If you continue to nurture this bond, you will one day have my recognition in a way no human has ever had." Alex swallowed hard. The words were unexpected, overwhelming, yet filled him with hope. "Your Majesty, I don't know what to say. I will do my best, I promise. The queen smiled faintly. That is all I ask. Your sincerity is your greatest strength. The bond you share with this child is not merely attested as a foundation for the future. If you nurture it, if you honor it, the results may exceed even your imagination. Alex looked down at the infant, who now rested comfortably in its floating cradle, its tiny hand reaching toward him again. He felt a wave of determination. This child's trust had changed him, teaching him lessons he had never expected to learn. He knew that whatever the queen's promise might entail, it was now intertwined with the bond he had formed. Zari's gaze softened even further. Alex, you have proven that humans are capable of empathy, courage, and understanding. That is why I make this promise openly. If you continue to honor this bond, you will have a role not only in the life of this child, but in the future of Lysera itself. That is a rare and precious gift. Alex felt his chest tighten with emotion. He bowed deeply. Your Majesty, I will do everything in my power to honor this trust. I will protect the child, guide it, and ensure its safety, no matter the challenges. Zari nodded. I believe you, and that belief is as important as any defense, any strategy, or any strength. Trust is the foundation of all bonds, Alex, and you have proven that it can exist even between worlds. Remember this lesson, it will guide you in ways you cannot yet imagine. The baby stirred slightly. Sensing the attention and emotion in the room, Alex leaned closer, speaking softly and gently rocking the cradle. We will face everything together, he whispered. You and I won't let anything harm you. Zari watched the interaction, her eyes reflecting both pride and hope. You are more than a protector, she said quietly. You are a guide, a friend, and a bridge between humans and Lyserans. That is why this promise matters. It is not just a reward, it is a responsibility, and one you are ready to bear. Alex nodded, feeling a weight of both honor and duty settle over him. The queen's promise was more than words, it was a call to continue growing, learning, and nurturing the bond that had already changed his life. As the afternoon sun filtered through the palace windows, Alex spent the next hours with the baby, continuing to observe, learn, and interact. Every coo, every gesture, every small response reinforced the trust between them. The queen's promise echoed in his mind, a reminder of what he had achieved and what lay ahead. By evening, Zari approached once more. Alex, she said, her voice gentle but firm, tonight, rest. Tomorrow, your lessons will continue. Remember, that trust is the most powerful force in the universe, capable of protecting, guiding, and uniting. You have experienced its strength firsthand. Alex smiled softly, looking down at the sleeping child. I understand, Your Majesty. I will continue to honor it, always. The queen nodded. Turning to leave the chamber, Alex remained seated, holding the baby carefully and watching it breathe peacefully. The promise she had made weighed on him, but it filled him with hope and determination. He had faced danger, earned trust, and discovered that patience, empathy, and courage could achieve what strength alone never could. As night fell over Lysera, Alex gazed out the window at the teal sky and the rising stars. He felt a sense of belonging, a connection to this alien world, and a purpose that transcended any mission he had ever imagined. For the first time, he realized that the journey he had begun was more than exploration. It was about trust, bonds, and a future that could unite worlds. And with the queen's promise hanging in his mind, Alex knew that the challenges ahead would be met not only with courage but with heart, understanding, and the unbreakable bond he had formed with the most precious life on Lysera.